Hello, we're back again on memorizing scriptures. Today we're looking at Hebrews 4:16. What does it say? Let us therefore come boldly before the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in times of need. Again, Hebrews 4:16. Let us therefore come boldly before the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in times of need. All right, like we always do, we like to find the context, right? And back up a bit. Let us therefore means that it's coming from somewhere. Therefore is a conjunction, a conjunction adverb. How do they say it again? A conjunctural adverb. It's a conjunction word, right? So it's connecting two words together. It's connecting a statement and another one that is to come. So something has happened. Let us therefore come boldly. Why? If you back up, it talks of Jesus being the high priest. It says, seeing that we now have a high priest. We have a high priest that is touched with the feeling of our infirmities. We have an empathetic high priest. We have a high priest that he's not just empathetic, but he understands what's going on with us because he has been through this. He has walked the earth. He has been in human flesh. And so he understands our weaknesses. He understands our frailty. We have that's the kind of high priest we have. And so he understands us. He knows our needs, right? He doesn't condemn us. Let us therefore come boldly. Now, let's talk about the book of Hebrews and this chapter. The book of Hebrews, contrary to most opinion that it was Paul the Apostle that wrote the Hebrews, the author is actually anonymous. But most scholars put it on Paul. Some say Luke, some say Barnabas. So I would say it's probably um, a combined work. So I would say it's a combined work, right? And it was this the setting was to the Jewish Christians who were being persecuted, and they were struggling with the challenge of reverting back to Judaism at the time. So the book was written to them to bring comfort, consolation, and to further let them see the sufficiency of Christ and the superiority of Christ. So the writers of the book of Hebrews spoke a lot, quoting the Old Testament, especially the Psalms. There was a lot of quotations from the Psalms extensively. If you read from verse 1 of that chapter 4, it talks about entering into rest like the Sabbath rest. Note that that rest is not talking about a location. The rest is a state of mind. The rest is your mentality. Is now understanding who we are in Christ and what Jesus has done, our high priest. And so we are not laboring to please him. We are not we are not saved because of our works. In Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8 and 9, it says we are saved by grace. It's not because of your works, right? So that's what chapter 4 was talking about. Chapter 4 focused on the superiority of Christ and then on Jesus as a high priest. So that's why when we get to verse 12, verse 13, verse 14, sorry, from verse 14 to 16, it focuses on Jesus as a high priest. And it says, seeing that we now have a high priest that has made a way for us, a high priest that has torn down the middle wall of partition. There is no more veil separating us from God, so we can come boldly. We have the confidence to approach our high priest, and he says we should come boldly to the throne of grace where we can obtain mercy and we can obtain grace because he understands our frailty, he understands our weaknesses, so we can come to our high priest. We have a high priest that is praying for us. He's seated in heaven at the right hand of the Father, praying for us. So we now have the boldness to approach our high priest because we know he understands our weaknesses and he's making intercession for us. So verse 16 again, let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in times of need. So whoever you are, whatever you are, whatever that you have done, however you see yourself, you have a high priest who understands you. He's taught you the feeling of your infirmities, so you can come boldly. You can come boldly and receive rest from your struggles. You have been trying to live a life of righteousness all by yourself. You have been trying to live holy all by yourself. You have been trying to do the right things by your own struggle and by your own hands. Please, it's time to enter into rest. Come to the high priest. Come to the throne. You will find mercy. you will find grace to live a righteous life. Now, two things: you will find mercy for all that you have done, and then you will find grace to live a sustained life of righteousness, holiness, and purity in Christ. Hebrews 4:16. Keep that in mind. See you soon.